I am Shivcharan Singh. I welcome you to a particular situation which let me make you see where a person after having realized that remaining in muddy, murkier for a very long time would be life threatening, and thus he swims to the surface, crawls to the bank, takes bath in clean water, and then comes back at the shore asking the rest of his flocks to come out or follow his suit. How should we respond in such a scenario? A standard practice says we should thank the person who shows us the path to health and welfare. But opposite happens and has been the norm in the history of humanity when some sane voice tries to show the right path to those who either chose or are fated to remain in a murky, muddy cesspool. Wasim Rizvi is one such sane voice, a nationalist voice, a very true Indian voice, who, after having realized that Muslims are earning bad name on account of certain verses from the Quran which preach violence, hatred, spread some kind of disharmony in the society, he in fact chooses very liberal words, very acceptable words for Quranic injunctions, which in fact preach something far more lethal than these words. So once he speaks about them, he becomes an outcast. He is instantly ostracized, and rewards after rewards are announced for beheading him. And this all originates from Wasim Rizvi filing a PIL in the Supreme Court asking the court to ban as many as 26 verses or ayats of Quran, which according to him preach separatist, violent and hatred things among the Muslims, who become terrorist, anti-national, and they don't remain human beings. Before the court does anything, a barrage of opposition has been opened for him, and he is left alone to fight those vultures in the Muslim community who do not realize that they are in a kind of prison, and the weapons which they think they are using against non-Muslim, the Hindus, are in fact the weapons that is ultimately killing them almost every day. For the company of devil will take them to the devil's tomb. Anyway, protest from the Muslim quarters was expected, because announcing rewards for beheading somebody who goes against them is the Islamic norm. But of late, some voices in the Muslim community have resorted to what is called wielding a Modi shield to slam Rizvi. But before I come to that, let me share you Wasim Rizvi is the former chairman of Uttar Pradesh Shia Waqf Board, and he is not alone in realizing that Quranic injunctions are very dangerous for the humanity. But his decision to knock at the door of the Supreme Court for banning the Quran is not only unique and innovative, but it's historic. For several sane voices from the Muslim community. They must be numbering over 100, but the prominent among them are like Salman Rushdie, who wrote satanic verses, Taslima Nasreen from Bangladesh, who wrote Lojja, fictionalized the barbaric face of Islam. Then there was Ibn Waraq, who wrote Why I Am Not a Muslim, Anwar Hussain. There are a number of Baloch women, Pakistani women, Afghani women who have chose to part with Islam and become either neutral or inclined towards Sanatan Dharma. But Wasim Rijvi's stance is not on the line of these people. Rather, his line is somewhat very revolutionary and historic because he went to the courts. And now the question is that many people are accusing him of hogging the limelight by knocking at the door of the Supreme Court. Then he says, no, come on. In January 2021, he wrote a letter to the Muslim clerics across India seeking their opinion. His plea was, if we are going to get rid of as many as 26 verses from the Quran, we will have a face, an Islamic face, to be in the mainstream. But there was no response. So Rijvi says he waited for 2 months for the response, but when no response came, he knocked at the door of Supreme Court so that this monstrous verses must be scrapped from the book and Muslims could be accepted in the mainstream as normal a person as Hindus are, as normal a person as any other person is. And that is where he stands vindicated in his stand that he went to the Supreme Court. But of late, in social media, there were many people, those who started playing on the defense, saying that even the Narendra Modi has praised Quran. What else should Narendra Modi do? He is the Prime Minister. He has to praise Quran. One such video says that Narendra Modi took 99 names of Allah, saying that none of these Allah's name preach violence. And the same video goes on to evidence one more clipping where Modi is talking about that over 800 times the name of Allah has been quoted in Quran, and a couple of less than that ilm has been quoted. So Islam is for Allah and Allah is for no violence, Allah is for no hatred, and similarly Allah is for ilm. So this way they are just trying to vindicate Quran and Quranic indoctrination of violence and hatred. But that is not going to help them. But it is just the way the world is functioning. And for the first time, I think those who used to bat on the front foot have gone on the back foot in defense, and they are wielding Modi shield to slam Rizvi and defend Quran and Islam. In the meantime, if Wasim Rizvi is going to be harmed in any way, that will be no harm to Wasim Rizvi the individual, but it will be a harm to a true nationalist voice, a voice in defense of humanity at large and Hindus in particular in India. So I think if Wasim Rizvi is going to be defeated either in the legal corridors or in the social ostracization of him or in any other way, it will be a great defeat for the Hindu society for whom he has been batting, and his voice should be given the protective shield. Let the Muslims on the defense have this Modi shield to wield to slam him. Anyway, thank you very much for today.